The Alldus podcast is brought to you by Alldus International, supplying your expert AI and digital transformation staffing needs across the US and Europe. Today, you are listening to our AI in Action series, where leading minds in AI from across the world share their story, success, and advice. AI in Action cuts through the hype and explores the true impact of artificial intelligence in our world today.
You're listening to AI in Action. I'm your host, JP Valentine. Our guest today is Shiva Amiri. Shiva is the head of AI and data intelligence at Pivotal Life Sciences. Shiva, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're delighted to have you. So let's start with yourself, please. Could you give us a bit of an overview of your background in technology and what your journey has been like from where you got started, some of the roles you've held along the way, taking us up to today as the head of AI and data intelligence for Pivotal?
So let's go way back. I wanted to be a doctor, and when I entered university, I started in biology. And right around that time, the Human Genome Project was underway. It was like 1999. And the first dot-com boom, the dot-com whole, all the startups and everything getting going was happening in Silicon Valley. And so I thought it would be really cool the human genome is a lot of data and there's a lot of letters there. So I thought to really understand medicine, I think it makes sense to use computers and computer science. And I can hedge my bets, and just having computer science is probably a good idea just because of all the things going on in the world today. So I decided to do, and University of Toronto at the time let me do a double major in computer science and biology. And it wasn't a common thing at the time to do like bioinformatics. There were very few bioinformatics programs, but they let me. And at the time, I also was able to squeeze myself into a bioinformatics lab at the University of Toronto, which helped me get into my PhD. So I went to the University of Oxford, the computational biochemistry unit, and I did a PhD in computational biology, which was a combination of computing and biology. So that was great. That was a fantastic experience. After that, the road was pretty open. A lot of folks were looking into continuing as postdocs and going into academia or going into consulting, going into technology. There was a lot of different options at that stage. I decided to go back to Canada, which was where my family was, but also to be open-minded about the next roles that I take. And so I decided to take on a head of science and innovation role with the British consulate at the time. And so that was really interesting, learned a lot. It was maybe a little bit farther than the pure technology and scientific, like hands-on roles. But then after 4 years there, I joined a research organization called the Ontario Brain Institute. And there, the whole world of big data was becoming a thing. Cloud infrastructure was just starting to make some headway. So I joined Ontario Brain Institute to build out an informatics platform for brain data. And this platform was called Brain Code. It's still there today, hosts a lot of data across multiple hospitals in Canada and extended to other geographies. And then after that, we were working with startups. And so I thought, you know what, it makes sense. I would like that startup experience. So I joined a New York-based startup after a few years, a machine learning startup where they wanted to take digital advertising ML technology and use it in biology. And so I joined as head of product, CPO, and then we rebranded and created a new company, and I became CEO of that company called Biosymmetrics. And I hired the team, put in place the technology and roadmap with the team, which was a really great experience. And that company is doing well and still there. While there, I had an opportunity to come and work in the Bay Area, which was something I had always considered. And I feel like a lot of the best biotechs and best technical talent is out here. And so I had the opportunity to take on a role as head of data science and computational chemistry at a company called Zymergen. And this company was really interesting microbial genetics, and data science problems were really almost like science fiction. So I decided to take on that role, moved from Canada to the US. This is 5 years ago now. I didn't stay too long at that company. I had an opportunity to work with Anne Wojcicki, who's the CEO of 23andMe. There was a role there that was working directly with her and working across engineering and the research teams to start anyway. So I took on that role, and I was director of research infrastructure at 23andMe for a few years, for about almost 4 years. And later the title changed a little bit to data technology. But that was an amazing opportunity to work with the consumer product, but also work with the growing therapeutics team at 23andMe. And so after about a few years there, I decided I had an opportunity to come do something slightly different, but not that different. We're now at Pivotal Life Sciences for 2 months. And Pivotal Life Sciences is a venture capital platform that's in San Francisco, Boston, Shanghai, and Hong Kong. And what they want to do is they've dedicated $2 billion for life sciences, and they want to build a smart investment platform. So they want to get really deep into the science of the companies that they're looking at. They want to use a lot of data, AI, and intelligence to help the investment teams make the right predictions. And I thought this was interesting because it's similar to what I was doing at 23andMe. We were looking at how does genetics contribute to drugs? How do you make the right calls? Which clinical trials are going to succeed? Those are certainly some types of work that we're going to be looking at here. Yeah, so that's where I am today.
Yeah, thank you so much for the overview. An amazing journey with a couple of really marquee positions along the way. You've tried multiple hats. You've done the startup world, you've been a CEO, you've worked in fast-growing organizations, but you've also worked on some incredible big brands. Here you are now at Pivotal, which you've given the platform as to who the company is as a whole. Talk to us about your role then as the VP, head of AI and data intelligence. What are you tasked with? What are the main responsibilities for you and your organization?
So this is a new team at Pivotal Life Sciences. So my title is VP Data Intelligence and Artificial Intelligence. And, investment has become complicated. Life sciences investment is not easy. These projects are very long term. It's different than purely technical investing. And so the vision from our CEO and our managing directors here is to build a intelligence platform to help the investment teams, to be decision support for the investment teams and help them make better decisions, help outline which technologies we should be looking at, which companies we should be looking at, which people we should be looking at. So the team is tasked to build predictive capabilities along the investment pipeline. So that means digging into the science, like having holistic understandings of diseases that we're interested in, whether it's immuno-oncology or cancers, whether it's central nervous system disorders like dementias or Alzheimer's, whether it's skin-related disorders. So really having a deep mapping of these disorders where we can highlight gaps, make predictions on where to look at, but also layering that on with the landscape of that drug or that target. What are other companies doing? Who are the people involved? What's been the kind of investments involved? So really digging deeply into how can we identify the right calls on investment so we can have impact. One of the things I really like about Pivotal Life Sciences or PLS is that they want to make an impact. So they want to meet unmet medical needs and do well and do good. So I think this is what drew me to this organization, that they're trying to do, it's innovative in the investment space. There's other investment companies that have done this, not necessarily in the life sciences business, but I think this makes a lot of sense in life sciences. And they want to build a really highly technical and highly scientific team that looks through the mounds of data that are available today that weren't even available 2 or 3 years ago, and creates technologies and platforms that helps us make better decisions for life science companies.
So it's a fascinating role, and I definitely see the value in it. We've had so many guests on the podcast working in the life sciences space and trying to utilize aspects of AI and data to accelerate their overall progress, performance, and impact real change. Mm-hmm. Given your role and background is very much in data and technology yourself, what involvement will you and your team have post-investment in an organization and in helping these businesses strategize around the right path to take and how they can get the best ROI from AI when they're implementing it in various aspects of their business?
That's a good question. The role of this team when you think about it, there's a lot of internal work to do to serve our investment team and work very closely with our investment team. But also you're right that the capabilities we build, we can serve our portfolio companies, because a lot of these are small companies. They don't have a lot of data and analytics capabilities and AI capabilities. So there's certainly a role for this team to interface directly with a lot of the companies we work with in our portfolio, to whether show them the landscape they're operating in, carry out analytics for them, deploy even like cloud infrastructure capabilities, things like that, just like basic on the ground things to help them manage their data, help them analyze their data, get insights from their own data, but also show them here's what is possible, here's what's going on in your industry, here's a landscape analysis. So I think you're right that absolutely there's certainly room for providing technical capability for our portfolio companies.
You are listening to the Alldus podcast. When you're looking to scale your team, or if you are interested in showcasing your company in a future episode, reach out today. Or if you're in the market for a new role, visit our website to view open positions, www.alldus.com.
So Shiva, you obviously bring a wealth of knowledge and experience yourself to Pivotal, but it's not going to be just you who's making all of these decisions. So could you talk to us about the plan for the team? I know we're early in its infancy, but where do you see this evolving and growing? And what sort of team are you going to need to build? What people will you need to bring in to help you accomplish these fairly lofty goals?
Yeah, that's right. The team is new. And so one of my tasks is to build this out. And one of the things I really appreciate about what I do on the interface between biology and technology is that there's so many roles in there. And there are so many people and expertise that need to come together to make something meaningful. And so the roles we're envisioning for this team that we're going to be hiring for, and we need to prioritize these. Certainly, it's a small team right now, and we're not going to have time to bring on all these hires at the same time. But there's going to be people who are bioinformaticians, computational biologists, or folks with systems biology backgrounds. There's going to be data scientists who also NLP data scientists who their expertise lies around text extraction and understanding text. We're going to be looking at a lot of different types of documents. Also, obviously, software engineering to build out products and make them available to our users. There's going to be cloud infrastructure engineers, because we're going to be operating on multiple data sets and bringing those data sets in, managing them, making them useful, performant. All of those things are going to take really strong cloud infrastructure engineers. And then, of course, we need full stack or front end focused full stack engineers, because a lot of this data science and analytics and looking at insights across large data sets or large varied data sets is visualization, and being able to effectively visualize this complex information. So we are going to need full stack front end focused software engineers. Other roles we're looking at are eventually probably computational chemists. So it's a really nice combination of computational biology, bioinformatics, data science, software engineering, full stack, and cloud infrastructure engineering. So I hope I haven't missed anything, but those are the types of people that I imagine could really come together and build really cutting edge, state-of-the-art products that impact investment, life sciences investment, but also help our portfolio companies that are doing really amazing things to change lives.
Yeah, you've already touched on where I would like to go with my next question, which is in the areas that you're looking to hire, huge demand, shortage of supply of the right type of talent. There's competition to hire the best people. What you've described at Pivotal is genuinely unique in nature. It's not your everyday project. But when you're speaking to candidates who have the right background and knowledge, what is it that you would tell them that would get them interested in joining Pivotal over some of the other great companies out there hiring right now?
I think about this a lot. How do you communicate this, what's going on here, to the people out there, and it's important to get the right people who impact matters to them. Life sciences matters to them. Going after the right drugs or targets matters to them. So it's a combination of just being able to communicate the vision that is there from our CEO and our managing directors and talk through the impact, but also be grounded about the fact that this is hard. There's no precedent here that we can go from. And also that it's a small team and we're a startup within a startup. I think we need to be realistic. I don't want to oversell that you're going to come in and it's going to be working at a big tech company. It is not. There's things that need to be put in place, but also there's a huge opportunity to have an impact as a result of that. Have an impact because it's new, but also have an impact because the work is impactful. So those are some of the things I've been thinking about, but I would love any advice on this, on how to communicate this.
Yeah, look, I think in the field that we all operate in, people are looking to have an impact and that play to their strengths. And individuals' interests can vary by industry, by day to day, by impact, by mentors and leadership. So I think my advice and what I try to do with the podcast is have people speak about what drew them to the opportunity. And really, that can be the best type of advertisement for why others should consider it. So on that point, my last question, when you look at the roadmap for Pivotal over the next 1 to 2 years and the potential impact you can have for companies and the industry as a whole, what are you most excited about for the work that you're going to be doing?
I'm most excited about the challenge that this role comes with, to build out this very varied cross-functional team that is going to build products that are effective and real in helping us make better decisions, build companies, fund exciting companies. And so really providing insights through our technology and AI that the team wouldn't have been able to come up with before us. So that's what drives me. And that means maybe even understanding certain disease landscapes better. That means understanding the layer of the competition or the financial information, the teams with the science in a more effective way. So I think I'm excited about the products we're building, the team we're building, and what that means for the future of Pivotal Life Sciences. I think if we build the right foundations, the future could be very bright.
Shiva, thank you so much for coming on today and talking to us. It was great to learn about your own journey and some of the amazing roles that you've held along the way. But you now find yourself at Pivotal heading up a completely new division which has really exciting implications for the life sciences industry as a whole. And you're going to be building out a high-performing team with some incredible work to be done. So we wish you, the upcoming team and everyone at Pivotal, the best of luck in the months and years to come. We look forward to having you back on the show and hearing about the amazing progress.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Alldus podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any Android podcast of choice. You can also head over to our website, www.alldus.com, to listen to more podcasts, view our open roles, and stay up to date with industry news. Thanks for listening and stay tuned for more great episodes coming very soon.